The fourth thing I wanted to talk about is your security deposit. The maximum amount of a security deposit that a landlord can charge a tenant is twice the monthly rent for the unit. The landlord, at the end of your tenancy, the landlord can only withhold the security deposit for unpaid rent or if you've caused damage to the unit beyond normal wear and tear. In order to withhold the security deposit, your landlord has to send you a written notice. The written notice has to list the specific reasons why the landlord is withholding the security deposit. The landlord has to send you this notice within, if you're a tenant at will, the landlord has to send you this notice within 21 days of the date you move out of the apartment. If you have a lease, the landlord has to send the notice to you within the time set forth in the lease agreement, but that time can't be more than 30 days. If your landlord fails to send you the notice required by law, then the landlord loses his or her right to withhold the security deposit. And the landlord has to return the security deposit to you, even if you left the unit owing rent or when you left the unit, you had caused damage to the unit. If your landlord doesn't return the security deposit to you, then there are specific steps that you have to take in order to get the security deposit back. One is that you have to send the landlord a demand notice stating that he has to return the security deposit to you within 7 days. If the landlord still doesn't respond, then you have to sue the landlord in court. A lot of tenants will sue the landlord in small claims court because usually the security deposit is well below the $6,000 limit for small claims court. And that's a procedure that's designed for people who do not have lawyers so that they can navigate the system and get what is due them. The other rights that tenants have is they have if you're a tenant and you pay your rent, you have the right for your landlord to give you a receipt. As far as the landlord entering your home, unless it's an emergency situation, your landlord has to give you a reasonable notice before the landlord can come into your apartment. And that reasonable notice is usually determined to be 24 hours notice. And then if your house is in foreclosure, if the apartment building or the home that you're renting is in foreclosure, the new owner of the building, either the bank or whoever buys it from the bank, has to give you a 90-day notice before you can be evicted. Now, I know I've gone over a lot of stuff this evening. There are a lot of client education materials available that describe what your rights are as a tenant in great detail. One of the best client education materials is called The Rights of Tenants in Maine, and it is found on the Pine Tree Legal Assistance website. And it is a 30-page booklet that explains what your rights are and what your obligations are as a tenant. Also, there are a number of other more specific client education materials on the same website which talk about your security deposit, the Warranty of Habitability Act, the Repair and Deduct Act, and a lot of other, your right not to have to pay for a common metering or for heat, or utilities for any other tenant or for any common areas. And I was just counting, and there's dozens of client education materials that deal with each of these subjects. So if you have questions, the website is ptla.org, and you can go on that website and you can get a lot of your questions answered.